dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Hello, welcome back everybody. I thought in honor of Independence Day, July 4th here in the US, that I would do something on independence. But not that kind of independence, the drummer kind of independence, where we can have a couple things going on at the same time. And this also relates to polyrhythms, polymetric stuff. Here's a few things you can try, all right? So let me give you a few things, and it doesn't matter what drum you're playing, or even if you're playing another instrument besides a drum, you can do these vocally, you can do these at a table, on your lap, in the car, in bed. Do them wherever you want, all right? So these are super easy, just basic stuff. All right, so let's just get a click. This is 90 beats a minute, in case you want to try this. If this feels fast for you, just, try it a little slower, or faster if you like. So you'll hear 1, 2, 3, 4. You hear that little higher pitched click. That will come into play, may or may not in every example, but let's just tune into that. 2, 3. First thing we want to do is get a couple ways to count beats. So I'm going to give you a couple ways. These are not the only ways. You don't have to do them this way. Do them any way you want. Taka di mi, taka di mi, taka di mi, taka di mi. You could say taka dege, taka dege, taka dege, tak. Some people do other stuff. I'm going to pick probably one of those. 2, 3. Say it with me. Taka dege, taka dege, taka di mi, taka di mi, taka di mi, taka di mi. So this is a cycle of 4, right? Taka di mi, 1, 2, 3, 4. Taka di mi, taka di mi. So the first thing you want to do is get comfortable with that. Then let's have fun with it. Let's do a cycle of 3. Let me stop the metronome for a second. So we have taka dege or taka di mi for 4. And for 3, we can just shorten that a little bit, like taka de, taka de, taka di, taka di, taka de, either one. All right, so let's put the same rhythm and let's do our 4 rhythm, and then let's phrase it in 3. And this will be our first dive into independence or polyrhythms. 2, ready, go. Taka dege, taka dege, taka dege, taka dege, taka dege, taka dege. Now we're gonna do taka de. Taka de, 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 ta. All right, so we're in this regard, we're shifting our accents, our phrasing from a phrase of 4. We're keeping everything the same. We're keeping the subdivision the same, which in this case is like an 8th note. Dot, 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 dot. 2 notes per beat. And instead of phrasing that in 4, we're just going to phrase it in 3, and we're going to accent every first of a group of 3. Every first of the group of 3. So let's try that again. We'll do a couple groups of 4 first, and then we're going to shift over to 3. And you can say it with me. You can play it, do the accent if you want. If that's too much, just try to say it and keep track. And that's where we're going to start with a lot of these exercises. 1, 2, groups of 4. Taka di mi, 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 taka di mi. Now let's go to 3. Taka di, 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 taka di. All right? So that's pretty simple, but I think you can have fun with that, and you can play the accent, right, and say the subdivisions. Now, let's do the other way around. Let's do subdivisions of 3, and then we'll shift into 4. So we're going to make a triplet first, and then we're going to phrase it instead of 3s, right? We're going to keep everything the same, keep the subdivision the same, and we'll phrase it in 4. And there's a fly in the room. So you might hear it. And do the fly, and have a fly in your room. All right, let's go with 3s. I'm going to slow this down to 80 because the 3s are going to be a little fast. So first we start with a 3. Tuckady, 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 tuckady. Now we're gonna go to 4. Tuckady-me, 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 tuckady-ge, tuckady, 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 gade, tuckady, tuckady-me, 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 tuckady-me. And there, I was even getting a little bit behind, a little late. So that's pretty challenging. Now, if you want help with that, if you have a metronome, and you probably have an app, then you could put on the subdivisions of 3. That'll be helpful. So let's try that. Tuckady, 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 tuckady. So much easier. Tuckady, 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 tuckady. All right. So that's ends up being like 4 against 3, although you're starting off with just subdivisions of 3 and then phrasing it in 4. All right, you guys? So it all works out mathematically. Don't worry. All right, so these 2 concepts of starting with a subdivision, tuckady-me, tuckady-me, tuckady, tuckady, and then breaking it into the other set. So if it's in 2 or 4, you go to 3. Tuckady, 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 tuckady. And then see if you can keep track of where that accent is, and hear that accent in the 4 beats. Remember when we first started, I said the metronome has an accent on the first of every set of 4. And see if you can keep track of that. And then do the triplets, accent them. And then conversely, we had groupings of 3. And then we're going to phrase it in 4. Tuckady-me, 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 tuckady-me. Okay, and then from there, you're going to experiment and see if you can maybe play a rhythm and then do the phrasing vocally. Play a rhythm that you know, and then shift the accents from 4s to 3s, or from triplets into 4s. And so this is a very powerful concept, you guys. I don't want you to think that this is just some pointless exercise. If you can do this, if you can shift 3s into 4s and phrasing, or 4s into 3s, and you get good at it, that will impact everything you do in music. It'll help with your phrasing. First of all, it'll help with your time in general. It'll help with your sense of meter, right? It'll help you develop soloing ideas and unique ideas, whether you're writing or improvising. And it will also help you keep time while other people are doing this kind of thing, like rhythmically complex things, which, if you're not used to it, if you don't know how to process it, so even if you're not doing it, if you're playing with people who are, it can throw you off if you don't have a way to integrate it. And that's kind of what we're talking about in terms of group playing. You need a way to hear it and make sense out of it, because believe me, this kind of stuff can be unsettling, and it could throw you off the beat or off of the count. And if you're playing in a group, and especially if you're accompanying somebody who's soloing, they're relying on you to keep the beat. And so you don't want to get distracted. You want to be able to keep what you're doing and still process and listen to what other people are doing. All right, guys? So there's a lot here to work on. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to practice. Pretty simple concept, not easy. And that's exciting because, like I said, you can do this kind of thing anywhere, anytime, basically, because you can do it quietly. You can do it vocally. You can just, if you're on the train or in the passenger, if you're a passenger in a car or on the bus or train or airplane, you can just sit there and you can just do this within yourself. You're not disturbing anybody, except maybe with your look of satisfaction when you nail it. Okay, you guys, this is the special Independence Day and every day after lesson and video for you guys, all right? If you have any questions, you'd like to add anything, if you'd like to add anything helpful, you have ideas, comments, tips, advice, put it in the comments. If you have a question for me, please message me, all right? Don't just put it in the comments. I may or may not see it there. So make sure you message me. I'll be happy to get back to you and help, all right? Thanks, you guys. Thanks for being patrons. I'll see you soon.